everyone. This is a lesson on factorizing difference of two squares. Important word, difference. It means you'll subtract two squares. Squares, we need to know what squares are. There are two kinds of squares. There are square numbers and square variables. A square number is a number that will multiply a number by itself and get that number. 1 times 1 is 1. So 1 is a square number. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 is a square number. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 is a square number. For your sake, memorize the square numbers from 1 up to 169. 1 times 1 up to 13 times 13 is 169. Memorize them, because when you are factorizing two squares, you need to know, is this number a square number or not? And then square variables, it's any variable that has a positive power, not a positive power, a even power, a 2, a 4, a 6, a 20. As long as the power is even, then that variable is a square variable. Let's look at it. We're going to look at 3 examples of how we factorize square difference of two squares. Right, with difference of two squares, you're going to have 2 terms. When you have 2 terms, it's probably difference of 2 squares. The next thing that you test if both terms are squares. X square, it's an even power, so this is a square, and then a 4, it's a square number. Then the next thing, you must have a minus between them. If you have a plus, it's not difference of 2 squares, so you must have a minus between them. Okay, what you do, you open 2 brackets, and then you put the first square here, and the first, like x times x, that number that you multiply and get the square. So x times x will give me x squared. Then 1 bracket it's plus, 1 bracket it's minus. Always with difference of 2 squares, 1 bracket is plus, 1 bracket is minus. And then you put the square root of 4. Which number did I multiply to get 4? By itself, it's 2. Then it's 2 here, then it's 2 there. Then we have done difference of 2 squares. Let's look at the second example. 1 is a perfect square over 9 is a perfect square. X squared is a perfect square, which is a variable. And 1 over 25 is also a perfect square. Then it has a minus between them. So we're going to have 2 brackets. 1 over 3x, 1 over 3x, plus, minus 1 over 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 over 5. Now with our third example, 18 is not a perfect square. It's not a square number. You see from our list, there's no number that you multiply by itself and get 18. 32 as well is not a square number. Now, but these 2 numbers have a common factor of 2. So if I take out 2, I'll be left with 9x squared. 2 times 9 is 18. And then this one is 16. Now, 9x squared minus 16. 16 is a perfect square. 9x squared is a perfect square. So you're going to have 2. Then you open 2 brackets. Don't forget the 2 that you took out as a common factor. So it's 3x minus 4 and 3x plus 4. Okay, this is how we do factorizing difference of 2 squares. You have to have 2 terms, perfect squares, minus between them. When it's positive, you can't factorize. You'll write that number as it is. This is the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching.